All right, y'all. Welcome back here to another episode of the Easy Money Sports Podcast. Of course, me myself always here. Sanders here with you. Got my boy Dupree with me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. How we living? How we living?
I mean, man, I'm good, bro. I can't complain. I mean,
Yep.
we down to we up to a new month now. We in November.
hmm
2023 is about to be out of here, bro. We getting ready
Yeah,
for 24 real soon. That's crazy to say. That's
no doubt.
really crazy to say, bro.
No doubt.
Um,
I got a,
I mean.
I got a gripe. I think this is my gripe every year, but especially um kind of started in 2019, man. Can we hold off on the Christmas stuff, bro? For at least, for at least 2 weeks into November. Like, I would, I really want to say after Thanksgiving, but I know people can't hold out that long. But can we at least get 2 weeks into November before
Bro,
I've already heard people putting up their trees. I've
bro.
already seen Christmas commercials. I already hear the Christmas songs in the stores. Like you already got Mariah Carey getting sued for all
Bro.
for all I want for Christmas. Like it's already happening, man. It's November 2nd, right? It is November 2nd. Can like two weeks. Let's get to the middle of November, right? Before we start doing it, we can't even get to eat our turkey. I can't get no sweet potato pie, no mac and cheese, no nothing before I see snow on every commercial on the TV. Nothing. People already got stuff with the Grinch. They already got the Grinch, Home Alone, all the movies, every movie you can think of, all the Christmas movies,
Hey, bro, you
everything.
preaching. Boy, you
Bro,
preaching.
like can we
Boy, you
like
preaching, boy.
let's just two weeks into November. Let's get 2 weeks into November. Let's slow it down. Let's slow it down. Christmas trees are already up. I'm telling you right now. I've already heard of Christmas trees. Christmas trees went up as soon as November 1st hit.
Now that's wild. That's
Already,
wild.
there are
That I
Christmas
haven't
trees up,
me personally, I haven't seen no Christmas trees up yet, but I know it's coming.
bro. I've
But
already seen it. I've already seen it. I've already seen pictures, bro. It's wild. It's wild.
I'm with you. Can we wait a little bit? I'm with you. Can we wait a little bit? Now, granted, I would say this now. I have come to an understanding of why you were kind of people would start November
I've,
1st.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I come to an understanding of it,
Oh
but I
no, I don't
still
have an
but I
understanding. Oh, I don't have
but I still think I'm like
okay.
bro, I'm like right. Can we the 14th? Can we wait till the 5th? Can we
Give
get
me
halfway there
something,
then? You know what I'm saying? Like,
and then let's get it
bro,
rolling.
no, bro. I seen somebody put they got the calendar for November and December, and they got November 1st all the way up to that
Oh yeah,
Wednesday
I just
before
seen that.
Thanksgiving is Christmas.
Yep,
Those
and
three
then
little
after
days
that,
is
yeah, yeah,
Thanksgiving, and then the rest of that is Christmas. I'm like,
it's
that is
Christmas,
hilarious,
man.
bro. Real talk, real talk.
I'm
Last
looking
thing,
at the
right,
TV now.
bro,
Looking
bro.
at the TV
Hear
now.
me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Yesterday, I wake up. I get ready for work and everything,
hmm
right? I come out the restroom, bro. I hear my girlfriend phone going off. And the first thing I hear is, in my mind, I said, oh my God, can you what?
Hey, I'm not gonna lie though. Hey, that's that's a classic though. I will give
No,
you
no,
that.
no, for sure. But I'm like,
So I probably
I,
would have got to singing with it. I ain't gonna lie to you.
yeah, I did. I let her play, and I
Yeah.
got the, you
Okay.
feel me? Because it's a classic. But I was just like, bruh, I mean,
Hey, that's
it ain't
funny.
even 11 o'clock, and you talking about,
That's funny, man. But now I literally a Golden Corral commercial just popped up on the TV. How first off, when the last time you seen a Golden Corral commercial? Let's just start there first. When the last time I seen a Golden Corral commercial. But Golden Corral commercial pops up. It looks like it's Thanksgiving. It looks like it's Thanksgiving decorations. It looks like it's
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving food, but it's Christmas bells in the background, and of course, everybody likes to tie it all together. So it just says Happy Holidays. We're like, nah, man, say what you really want to say.
It's
You're
Christmas,
promoting
bro.
for Christmas, man.
Yeah.
You ain't worried about Thanksgiving. You promote for Christmas. But I will say we might have to do something. We might have to create a list of like the best like Christmas song. That
Ooh,
Temptation Silent Night
for
like
sure.
that's gonna be up there. That's gonna be up.
For
We got to see.
sure.
We got to get the support. We got to get the fans to kind of chime in and see what's their favorite. What's your favorite Christmas song? What's your
I like
favorite one?
that.
Because
I
that
like
Silent
that.
Night Temptations. That's a good one. That's a good one for the boy. I ain't gonna
For
lie.
sure.
I ain't
For
gonna lie.
sure.
That's definitely on my playlist. That'll be playing for
Yeah.
sure.
Nah, that's definitely one you gotta have for sure to play. When you hear that, you know, like, yeah, it's that time.
Here we go. There's
It's
some
that time
soul
for
behind
sure.
that one.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
yeah.
little hit you
It hit a little,
deep in
yeah, it hit a little
right here
different
in
right
your
up in
stomach and
there. Yeah,
everything.
right up in
Yeah.
there. Even if you wasn't in the best of moods, you'd be like, man, you know, next thing you know, you in there. Mm, You know, you in
Yeah.
there humming it. You like, next thing you
That's
know,
it.
you done poured you up some eggnog, you done
Just swinging. Just swinging.
everything for sure,
That's it.
for sure.
I
It
feel it.
do take over your body like that, bro. I can't even be
Yeah.
upset about it, bro.
Yeah,
But
that's a good one.
man, new month in November. Uh, and a lot going on. Matter of fact, a couple days ago, we had the sports equinox. Uh, that was where you had all four major sports on
Hmm.
at the same day. Uh, there was Monday Night Football. There was the World Series. There was hockey game. There was basketball. I mean, it's that time. I mean,
Pick
it's
your
that time of the
poison.
year, man. It's
Uh,
that time of the year. You know, uh, NBA is about into their second or third week here. They're getting ready for that doggone play in tournament. They getting ready for that. Uh, College basketball is getting ready to tip off here soon. Some exhibitions been going on with that. Uh, Congratulations to the Texas Rangers. First ever World Series championship for them.
yeah,
Finishing off the
congrats.
Arizona Diamondbacks. Um, Congrats to the Texas Rangers. Just you know, a lot going on, man. And, obviously now in the NFL, we are at what, week 10?
Week 10.
Week 10?
Oh, week
No,
9.
no, no, no. Week 9. Week 9. I'm getting
Mm-hmm.
ahead of myself. Oh yeah, week 9. Yeah, week 9. We week 10 in college football. That's where we at
Yep.
right here. It's week
Yep,
10 in
yep,
college
yep.
football. That's what I'm thinking about. But man, a lot going on. Like I said, in the NBA, we just recently like I said, that's recently just getting started. And not even 2 weeks in, we already got big news, which kind of been prolonging here, probably since about the summertime and everything like that. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
but James Harden, I mean, man, I wish I could have a career like James Harden. Just be like, I don't want to be here no more.
Dude,
Send me to this
that's
place
it.
and
I'm
get
out.
sent
Like,
to that exact place.
mm-hmm.
That's crazy. But uh James Harden, obviously getting traded from Philadelphia to the LA Clippers back on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
The deal was officially announced yesterday. So the full trade details is that the Clippers got James Harden, PJ Tucker, and Philip Pressview. I might be butchering his name, but you know they got another player in there. And then the Sixers in return received Nicholas Batum, Marcus Morris, Robert Covington, KJ Martin, and a slew of draft picks. And if I'm not mistaken, I think OKC somehow, some way is involved in one of those
Yeah.
draft picks too. So, uh, not even trying to be funny. I think legit they actually are
Legit, yeah,
involved
I
with
think
that.
they are.
So, I'm not even trying to be funny, but yeah, that's all that with that. So man, real quickly,
Mm-hmm.
how you feeling about that? I mean, does that sway anything as far as how you look at the West or anything like that? I mean, I think it's nice, but it's all gonna come down to one thing: can these boys stay healthy?
That's it, man. That's the biggest question. Like this, I mean, I've liked the Clippers since they acquired Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. I like that duo, and then even getting Russell Westbrook, and he's been playing well, especially in that role, the role that he's in with the Clippers. I've been high on them. They just are never healthy. They're never healthy enough to be able to make a serious run. I think the last real run that they had was in the bubble, if I'm not mistaken, where they actually had a decent run into the playoffs. So that's the big thing. Can they stay healthy? And then the next part is going to be, I think the Clippers were fine as constructed. You get James Harden and PJ Tucker. It's supposed to be an upgrade. How motivated is James Harden going to be? If he's not motivated and he's not coming in, I don't know what role he's going to play, but if there's only one basketball, and so he's not going to be able to have a basketball all the time. And so obviously he can go get a bucket, but you got Kawhi, you got Paul George, like you have guys that need the basketball and that can score, so he doesn't have to be the primary scorer, probably the primary ball handler. But if he's okay with being the James Harden that he was last year that led the league in assists, I think they'll be fine. But I think it really boils down to how motivated James Harden is. Is he willing to be in the role? If his role is going to be that assist guy that he was last year, that facilitator that he was last year, if he's willing to jump in that role and then help. If those guys stay healthy, I think they can challenge anybody and give anybody a run for their money. If they can't stay healthy, and or if James Harden isn't open, all right, to that role that they're um, that might be bestowed upon them, then I think the Clippers are going to be they'll be in the playoffs and they'll be a first round exit, second round exit, something like that. They have the talent to make a championship run, but I think it really comes down to health and James Harden. Those are two things, really. I mean, you said it. It's that simple.
Yeah, same for me. I'm right there with you. Same for me. It's gonna come down to if all those guys can stay healthy. Um, that's number one. Number two is um accepting roles.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like that was with the way that James Harden is kind of explaining in some of these press conferences now that he didn't like the way that he was being used necessarily in Philly, which I didn't think that was a bad thing that they what they were doing, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's accepting roles. Obviously, you know, whenever he gets acclimated and gets involved, like pretty sure he's probably going to end up being a starter. So
Mm-hmm.
who goes off and gets into that into the to the 6 man spot and work with that second unit? More than likely, it's
Yeah.
probably going to be Russell Westbrook. Um, Probably more than likely it'd be ended up being Russell Westbrook. So,
Yeah.
you know, how does that go with guys accepting their roles? You know, that's a lot of guys right there who like to have the ball in their hands, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's just be real. So they have to get that worked out to where you know whose night it's gonna be because they all have a chance to have a real big night. I mean, we saw it just last night, even though the Clippers lost. You saw
Mm-hmm.
how big of a game Kawhi had, how big of a game PG had. Even Russell had a very huge game. So then when you add in James Harden, now that's another
Mm-hmm.
scorer, another facilitator, another playmaker that you have there. So interesting to see how they do with their roles and the patience that's gonna have to come with it because this is gonna take some time. They
Mm-hmm.
got to get the chemistry going. It's kind of kind of sort of like what happened when KD got the Phoenix and what they got going on, and even now there still haven't been a game where KD, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker has even been on the floor together. So
Yeah.
the patience with that, how patient will they be necessarily? And I know that's not really necessarily talking about with the players because I know they'll try to work it out, but
Mm-hmm.
more so with the fans and the NBA world. Like, how patient will they be with them to understand that maybe if they in this lineup together, they may start out first 10 games might be they only win 3 out of the first 10, or they're up and down, kind of going losing 4 out of 5 or something like that. It may just take them some time. So people are just going to be patient with them
Mm-hmm.
for them to get everything going because this is going, even though there's veteran superstars, they know how it is. This is still going to take time for
Yeah.
them to get acclimated, to figure out you know who's going to be what. And even though multiple, a couple of those guys have all played with each other before, of course, Russ and PG, Russ and Harden,
Yep.
they've all played with each other before. So it's just that's that. But I think that's to me that's the main three things is their health, accepting the roles, and just having patience with it because it's it's not gonna get done overnight to where all of a sudden they just turn it on and they end up being the best team in the West and everything like that. The potential is there, yes, but that's gonna have to take some time. So I think that's the main thing for me is just wondering where how much that would affect their health, accepting the roles and how long it'll take them to get everything together. I mean, I think they have the chance to be one of the better teams in the West now. A really good team. I mean, even before even before they
Yeah.
made this move, I felt like that too. It's just more so about their about their health. So now it's that times 20 pretty much
That's
because
it.
all of those guys. I mean, maybe outside of Russ, even though he's missed some time before, but that's but dealing with he's had like one major injury out, but the rest of those guys, they've missed some time, a lot of time. So it's just depending on how that goes. But interesting to see how it works out for him. I mean, I think it's a win-win. Harden got what he wanted again. Like I said, I wish I could have his lifestyle where I can just say, hey, I want to go here and I get traded there and I get to go there and then that's it. Um, he got what he wanted. Philly feel like obviously they've run their course with that and then now it's just at this point it's just Joel Embiid there now from all their core guys that they've had before and that was just him. So um, I think in the end it's a win-win though. Can't wait to see how that plays out for the Clippers. So that's what's going on quickly over there in the NBA. In the NFL, it's been a whirlwind. A lot
Yeah.
has transpired over the weekend, these past few days. We just recently just had the trade deadline back just past Tuesday. Um, and for a second, it seemed like you know it was gonna be kind of quiet. Nothing here and there. Maybe all the bigger trades that happened earlier, as far as like Kevin Byard and everything like
Hmm.
that. All of those other was gonna be like the biggest trade. Luckily, we wasn't gonna have anything too huge. And then before you know it, it's like they just started
That last
coming.
day,
They
that
just
last day
they
is
just
always
started
gonna get it.
coming. They just started
Yeah.
coming like out of nowhere, man. I mean, like out of nowhere. And obviously, um, the biggest, probably the biggest trade that probably went down was dealing with the Washington Commanders, dealing both of their
Hmm.
star defensive ends, man. Chase Young going to the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, for a third round draft pick, Chase Young gets to go to the 49ers, so he's
Hmm.
reunited with him and Nick Bosa. I mean, golly, bro. I think that defensive line is Nick Bosa. I almost mixed their names together. Nick Bosa, Chase Young. I think Javon Kinlaw is down there. Eric
Yep.
Armstead. It's a
Yep. Hargrove.
Hargrove.
Look,
It's almost like that's like a monstars right there, defensive lineman that they got, bro.
it's rough.
So
It's rough. It's right
that's
now.
that is wild. That was one big move right there, and then the Commanders also getting trading Montez Sweat to surprisingly to the Chicago Bears for a 2024 second round pick. That was that, and then another big trade was Minnesota getting Josh Dobbs from Arizona after
Hmm.
losing Kirk Cousins. So they're trying to obviously where it seems like that they were doomed and they were gonna have to be talking about trading Kirk Cousins. They reeled off a few good games now and there. They're right in the thick of it into the playoff race again. So obviously they're making that move to try to stay afloat to give them a chance to make it into the playoffs, man. So um Leonard Williams leaving from the Giants going to Seattle,
Yeah.
getting a second round pick for this next year's draft and a 2025 fifth round pick. Um, those are kind of like the bigger ones there that we seen there. So Um, man, what was the one that kind of just made you go like, "Oh my god, that is crazy"?
Well, obviously, the easy answer is the Chase Young to the 49ers. But I think really it's just the moves that the Commanders made, moving both of those defensive ends. To me, that doesn't make sense to me because I think both those guys are two good young players. No, it doesn't make sense to me. But Chase Young has dealt with his injuries. He's missed. I mean, his rookie season, he was balling and got hurt. And last year, he basically missed all of last year. Like, so he's been dealing with stuff, been banged up. So does that make sense? Yeah, Montez Sweat has been balling. He's balled the last couple of years. Um, and so the trade for him, I guess you just, to get the compensation that they got, second round pick, this next draft, like, that's good compensation. Like, so would I trade Montez Sweat for that? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Washington might be heading into a. They're still trying to figure out a whole quarterback thing. They're pretty, and they're a young team too. It's not they're not an older team. Like, and their defensive line was one of the best. I mean, Sweat and Chase. I mean, yeah, Sweat and Chase Young and Deron Payne and I can't remember my other guy's name.
Jonathan Allen.
Jonathan Allen, like
Yeah,
you got some boys on that D line, man. Like you are young. You got some young boys in the back end. You got some weapons on offense with Brian Robinson, Terry McLaurin, and Curtis Samuel. Like you have some Jahan Dotson. You got some young guys. They just need to figure out a quarterback. We said that before about the Commanders on this show. Figure out what you're gonna do at quarterback, and they just haven't found that guy. Seems like Ron Rivera is probably gonna be out of there. Maybe it's kind of got that feel to where Ron Rivera's probably gonna be out of Washington after this season. If he makes it that long, so that surprised me. Moving those two guys at this point in the season kind of surprised me. But if I think they're looking to do some stuff towards the future and Chase Young being hurt, it just didn't. It made more sense to cut ties with him than to try to hold on to him. And so those two, just in general, like those moves surprised me because I didn't think they were gonna do or make those two moves, especially at the same position. Like you move both your DNs, like that's gonna be tough for them. So I don't know if they're shutting it down or not, but those moves the Commanders made definitely threw me threw me for a loop.
yeah. Same for me. It was definitely the Commanders. I would say not more so surprised that they moved them, because as time was going on, like maybe a day or two before Sunday's
Hmm.
game, there was rumors and talks coming about that they were looking to move those guys. They were just gonna move on from them. It was just for me, it's more so who they went to. Um,
Hmm.
I mean, obviously the 49ers knew that they had to make some type of move here, kind of going down the route that they're
Hmm.
going here in this 3 game losing streak. They needed something probably to get them juice backed up, revitalized, and everything like that. And I mean, I can't fault them that Chase Young is going to San Francisco if all they had to do is get rid of a third round draft pick from next year's draft just to come and get him.
Yeah.
Um, that's that. And I think his compensation was a little, him being young, his compensation was a little bit lower than Sweat, just because of, as you mentioned, his injury history,
Hmm.
just, his, availability or lack thereof, that he has had so far after his rookie season. I mean,
Hmm.
after rookie season, it looked like, man, Chase Young was about to be, kind of in that talks of where TJ Watt is and Micah Parsons.
Hmm.
We put him in that category to where when you talk about top defenders, especially within that defensive line front seven category, that he would be in that conversation. Well, hasn't panned out like that just because he's been injured. Um, for him just to go to San Francisco was kind of like, really out of all teams, like
Yeah.
he goes there. Like, did they really even need him like that?
Yeah.
But it is what it is, man. Him getting reunited back with Nick Bosa, that's gonna be a scary, scary defensive line now to they can have and to rotate because we
Hmm.
mentioned already the guys that they already had, and then for Montez Sweat. Um, I'm a little. I'm surprised that it was Chicago because they're sitting at 2-6. No
Mm-hmm.
Justin Fields right now. I mean, this looks like it's about to be, you know, another rebuilding year for them to get whatever pick that they're gonna have plus the Carolina pick. So wherever they finish, that's where they'll have that. Which I think both of those are back to back right now. So that's two top five picks that we're talking about, if I'm not mistaken. Um, so it's kind of like, what was the reason? And just on some a little personal bias, I'm a little bitter because the word and the rumors and the talks was it was almost a done deal that Montez Sweat was coming home, that he was going down to Atlanta uh, for that same compensation. I think for either a second or a third, they were going to make the trade for him and planned on signing him to an extension. Well, Chicago jumps in and obviously let's I think what it is their second round pick is probably higher than Atlanta's second round pick. Then so it's just kind of like, can you fault Washington for taking it for taking that?
Yeah.
Not no, I can't either. I can't blame them if there's nothing else that we could do, because then it's like, do you want to trade a first for
No,
Sweat? That's yeah, that's tough. That's tough, especially not knowing where Atlanta could be come towards the end of the season, which we'll get into that in a second. But it's not really worth trading the first for. So it's just kind of like, all right, that doesn't happen. He's going to Chicago. Well, the thing is, like now, when they talk to him about that, they asked about the extension if he wanted to do an extension with Chicago because obviously he's in the last year of his rookie deal, and he pretty much kind of saying it without saying it that I'm not sure. I weigh my options out, which lets me know that to me he don't want to be there.
no.
I mean,
He ain't trying to be
so
in Chicago.
yeah, long term, like he doesn't want to be there long term. So it's just kind of like, all right, well if he don't want to be there long term, let's just get him in 2024 then free agency. So it is what it is. But um, that was there for me. I think Minnesota making the trade for Josh Dobbs
And that was
was
smart.
pretty good. It was smart. I mean,
I
you
don't
don't
know
know what
what
you
you can
have
go
in
and get either.
you don't know what you have in Jaren Hall. He's a
Mm-hmm.
rookie. At least Josh has gotten plenty of starts under his belt now.
Mm-hmm.
All of this season, a couple of games last year with the Titans. So I mean, he has that under his belt. And I mean, like you said, I don't like yeah, who else could they have went to go get? So and the fact maybe it'd be different if they were 2-6 and Kirk tear his Achilles, then they're probably like, all right, we'll play Jaron Hall, and it is what it is. The season is lost. We're gonna shut down Justin Jefferson. Don't even worry about it. But them being at 4-4 right now, they kind of right there in the thick of things when it comes to the playoffs right now. I believe if it started today, they'll be right there in at the last playoff spot. So they're right there in the thick of it. So the move was necessary for them to make for sure. But obviously, yeah, the moves of Washington moving both of their DNs to their various places is definitely um the biggest the biggest thing that had happened far as trades going. So
Yeah.
that was the big news right there as far as with the trade deadline um in the NFL. And then on top of that, even more big news was the Las Vegas Raiders firing head coach Josh McDaniels. Not only did they fire Josh McDaniels, they fired the GM as well, Dave Ziegler, um,
Mm-hmm.
on Tuesday night. 25 games is all he coached here for the Raiders. 11, no, I'm sorry, wrong one. 9-16, those 25 games after just only coaching, I think, 28 games with the Broncos. Um, I'm gonna say I can't say that I ain't see this coming because I felt like even the job that he pulled in Denver, that Josh McDaniels should have never been a head coach again, or even the fact that he was supposedly going to the coach and then backed out and came back to the Patriots to be an OC.
Mhm.
To me, the red flags was there that he shouldn't have been a coach again. I mean, he laid out all his chips on the line back in Denver for Tim Tebow, and then he come and does the same thing for Jimmy G, and it's just it's a shit show. I mean, the offense has been terrible. I don't think they're the only
Mhm.
team who is they're the only team who hasn't scored, I think, at least 21 points this season. I don't think they've scored 20 plus points yet. Um it's just I mean, it was just awful. What do you think? What's next for the Raiders?
I don't know, man.
Same,
I
bro.
don't
I
know.
mean,
Like you gotta like. What do you do with Devontae Adams? I mean, it should have known it was gonna be bad when you get Devontae Adams. He signs with the Raiders because he wants to come back and play for his childhood team and play with his college quarterback, and then you get rid of Derek Carr and you bring in Jimmy Garoppolo, which to me really wasn't an upgrade. It was more of a lateral move, if anything. Um, and nothing to show for it. Like you said, did a pedestrian job with Denver. He's done pedestrian job with the Las Vegas Raiders, not winning. Can't score your offensive line. You can't score any points. Like you said, haven't scored 20 points all season. Your quarterback wasn't playing well. You're starting. They're starting another quarterback, um, the backup quarterback this Sunday. Like they just, it's been bad. It's been bad, and the Raiders have been bad for the last couple of years. They had a couple of years. I mean, the year the Bengals went to the playoffs. Let's remember, went to the Super Bowl. Excuse me. The year the Bengals went to the Super Bowl, which was 2022, 2021, when they
yeah,
went to the Super Bowl,
yep.
2021, 2022. They were in the playoffs. They played Cincy in the wild card. Like they were just 2 years removed, literally 2 years removed from playing in the playoffs. And this team has just nosedive. They can't stop anybody. They can't score any points. You got Max Crosby. You have Josh Jacobs. You have Devontae Allen. Like you have pieces there, and they just can't seem to get it done. I don't know who they hire. Obviously, Antonio Pierce is the interim right now. We'll see how he does. I don't know who they hire in the off season. I don't know who's the GM. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who's your quarterback. Nothing. If I'm the Raiders, I would scrap it, let Devontae go, see what we can get from Max Crosby, and start this thing from scratch. Because this ain't going nowhere. No time soon.
I mean, either way, even if they don't do all that, they still got to start from scratch because like there's no head coach, there's no GM. They fired the offensive coordinator. I mean, like,
Well, I'm just saying, like, see what you can get for Devontae and Max
well,
Crosby.
yeah,
Like, I
that
mean,
too.
like, see what you can get for them two. You franchise tag Josh Jacobs. I don't know what you're gonna do with him. Are you gonna bring him back or not? You might as well let him go since you franchise him. Like, you might as well start this thing. And it's like you want to get rid of all your players. Well, I feel that, but what you gonna do with them? You ain't going to no Super Bowl. You ain't going to the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes been running the AFC West since he started starting games. His first full year starting, like since he's been the starter full time for a full season, the Chiefs have won and run the AFC West. The Bengals just beat them for the first time in like 30 something games. So they've been running the West like it's nothing. So you ain't doing nothing with the Chiefs. I still like the Chargers over the Raiders, even though I think Brandon Staley should be gone. You still like the Chargers over them. So it's like is the Raiders and the Broncos. I think the Raiders are better than the Broncos, but by how much? I don't know. So if get what you can for Devontae, get what you can for Max. I will let Josh Jacobs walk and let's get us a new coach. Don't get us a new coach. All right. Or get the GM, get the coach, and let's start this thing over because it's a wrap. Jimmy G missed 2 touchdowns to Devontae Adams last week, 2 of them. The the 60-yard one, like that one, okay. The one where he was down the sideline, like there was like nobody around him. I don't know how you missed that. He really threw the ball
Don't
out
know.
of bounds. He
Don't
literally
know.
threw the ball out of bounds. So
Don't know
I
how
don't
he
know.
did that.
It's all bad. Did it surprise me? Not really. I thought it might have been a little later in the year though. So the fact that it was just like, and overnight, like, yep, he's fired. And I wake up like, oh, okay, I guess they let go of Josh McDaniels. So, but that's West Coast for you. I'm over here on the East Coast. So
Two two tidbits on this, right? Josh McDaniels becomes the first head coach ever to be fired mid-season on 2 different occasions.
it's tough.
That is. But hindsight, I guess one of the best things, or the best, maybe you could say, positive out of that negative that you can say is that the contracts for NFL coaches are fully guaranteed.
He's gonna get paid. He's gonna get paid. And I'm gonna say this. And Bill O'Brien better be careful because Bill Belichick might be picking up that phone and calling this boy to come on back to New England. But he gonna be paid though.
The Raiders, last 2 coaches, is either fired or resigned. So we know about the whole John Gruden situation.
Hmm.
They are now going to have to pay somewhere between $40 million and $80 million for them not to coach the team. $40 to $80 million to not coach. That is insane.
That's what happens when you give a coach 10 years, 100 mil. John Gruden somewhere chilling. He off somewhere. He just doing private quarterback sessions, just chilling.
Man,
He know that check is
man,
coming in, so it don't even
what?
matter. Like,
Man,
okay, I don't
Spider
have to
Spider
coach.
Watu
Cool.
Banana, he ain't got to worry about making that play no more. We good. Spider, what I need Spider Watu Banana for? We good.
I'm good.
I ain't got to
This
call a
hundred
play,
this
I
hundred
got
mil
money
coming
coming
in
in.
regardless.
Psst, what?
This hundred
Money
mil
coming
coming
in, I
in
ain't got nothing to
regardless.
worry about.
Yeah. I don't know. The Raiders are in a bad situation right now, but they got
Yeah,
money. Apparently,
yeah.
apparently.
That Vegas money, man. I guess that's
It's
that's
different, I guess.
that's the only way I can put it.
Yeah.
But crazy there, because like you said, normally you don't see firings until really the end of the season. They kind of would
Hmm.
let you play it out just a little bit, but obviously it's just been so bad. I guess Mark Davis kind of had no choice, man. He had no choice, but
Yeah.
that's what's going on out there, um, around the league, man. For those who don't know, if you haven't tuned in before or ever watched the show, Dupree and I, we try to stay off our team so much because we know how deep and how crazy it could get for sure, and how much that could be a whole nother show in itself. Uh, but we are, for those who don't know, we're, we are big Atlanta Falcon fans. How do we stay then? How do we stay Atlanta Falcon fans? I don't know. By the grace of God, I guess we do. But it is what it is. I recently went to this past Sunday's game against the Tennessee Titans, and you couldn't ask for no more of a more like set up game for you to take that and go ahead and just reel off a bunch of wins. There was no Ryan Tannehill. You were playing a rookie quarterback, albeit on the road, but this was going to be a rookie quarterback first start, and then they were mixing between him, Will Levis, and Malik Willis. Um, it was only 2 other guys you had to stop, and that was Derrick Henry and DeAndre Hopkins. They did neither. Uh, trailed the first half. I think it was 14-6, or might have even been 21-6. I can't even remember exactly the score was, but and then the switch happened to where Desmond Ritter was in concussion protocol, and in is
Yeah.
Taylor Heineke. He makes the run. They cut in the lead, but just too much to overcome and everything like that. But now going into this Sunday, Taylor Heineke is named the starter, but apparently it could be just short term because there is a lot of variables that's factoring into it, as head coach Arthur Smith says. So the team is sitting at 4-4, halfway through the season,
Hmm.
with the easiest remaining schedule left out of all 32 teams.
Hmm.
Um, Still have four divisional games left, and two of them both against the New Orleans Saints, who also sit at 4-4. How are you feeling so far about the season? Because at this
Hmm.
time last year they were also 4-4, but
Hmm.
it was Marcus Mariota, and I don't know. It was a lot of things that was missing, that was lacking. Obviously, the defense wasn't like at its best, but now this year, where you got all this talent, you have Drake London, Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts,
Hmm.
um, Mac Hollins. You pay your offensive lineman Mitch McGary, Chris Lindstrom. You got the vet Jake Matthews over there. Uh, you spent all this money on the defense. Bringing in Calais Campbell, Jesse Bates, Ellis Anderson, trade for Jeff Okuda. The pieces are there, and it just seems like they're stuck in just mediocrity. Like,
Hmm.
how are you feeling about the season so far?
I'm hot. I'm hot. I didn't watch the game Sunday. I wasn't able to watch the full game. We practice on Sundays. So excuse me. I'm looking down on my phone, just looking at something real quick for this topic. Um, I don't understand. I truly, truly, truly do not understand what is going on. Arthur Smith is supposed to be our offensive coach. He's supposed to be an offensive coach. When we drafted Desmond Ritter, I was surprised. I was not expecting us to draft a quarterback 2 years ago. I thought we were going to wait till this year to draft a quarterback. We took Desmond Ritter, fine. And then it's okay, we took him in the third round. So if we took him in the fifth, sixth, something like that, okay, fine. But you take a quarterback in the third round, you're probably expecting him to do something and to be your guy. I would imagine at some point in time, you don't draft a guy that high to be in the third round and not expect him to be be in the mix a little bit. And he's in the mix, and he's he's been who he's been. This is his first full season of being a starter. First, it ticked me off the whole. Okay, I didn't know what happened. Obviously on Sunday, it's just okay. Tanner Heineke is in the game. He has a really has a concussion, and then it comes out on Tuesday or whenever that. Yeah, we're benching we're benching Ritter, and Taylor is starting. So I'm confused because are we benching him or is he hurt? Which one is it? Which one is it? Is the boy's brain scrambled? Does he have a concussion, or are we just benching him? Let's clear that up. Let's clear that up. And I didn't hear I didn't watch Arthur Smith's whole press conference when that question was brought up. I'm assuming he talked about injuries and stuff, but I don't know. So I don't know if Desmond Ridder has a concussion or not. It just seems like they're starting Taylor Heineke. All right, and instead of Desmond Ritter. So we're making a quarterback change. Is bringing back shades of last year. All right, that part does. Now, Taylor Heineke has played games. All right, he has won games. He beat the Falcons. I think it was just last year. He beat the Falcons, the Commanders. Oh, no, not last. Well, yeah, last year in Washington. But even a couple years ago, they came to Atlanta and they beat the Falcons down there. So He's played and won games, obviously, in the NFL and played well. All right. My issue is with the offense. Sanders, do you know the last time the Falcons have had a top 10 defense? What year? The last time the Falcons have a top 10 defense.
It's probably been a long time.
The last time the Falcons had a top 10 defense was in 2017.
That's a long
Not the
time though.
tw- not the 2016 year, the Super Bowl year. 2017, so the year after the Super Bowl, they had the ninth ranked defense in the league. All right. Do you know the time before then?
God, it had to been like early 2000s.
Let me tell you something, bro. It hasn't been. Up until 2004, there hasn't been. The closest the Falcons have been to a top 10 defense since 2017 is 2011. So in 2011, they were ranked 12th. In 2017, they were ranked ninth. Do you know what the Falcons are ranked in total defense right now?
Gotta be top five, right?
Number six. They are sixth
Right
in
outside.
total
Okay.
defense. Sixth in total defense. They're averaging giving up 20 points a game. Points. The Falcons' offense in total offense is ranked 13th. 13th in the league, total offense. It is 28th in scoring. The Falcons are scoring more than four teams in the league at 17 points a game. Bijan Robinson, Cordell Patterson, Tyler Algier, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Jonnu Smith. You telling me you are offensive coach. You are offensive coach, and you can't figure out how to put up more than 17 points a game. 17 points. That's all we can figure out. The offensive line been terrible. Let's just call that what it is. The O line been bad. All right, they've been bad, and still the Falcons have the 10th ranked rushing attack in the league. Still, with as bad as they have played, all right, especially those guards. All right, we still got to figure out what's going on with them guards. All right, 10th rushing attack in the National Football League. 17 points a game, and the defense is only giving up 20. If you're telling me we can't score 3 touchdowns, we're not gonna win nothing. You won't win a game in the NFL. You shouldn't win games if you can't score 20 points. I'm talking about Matt Canada almost every episode. They scoring 15. The Buccaneers scoring 17.3. The Buccaneers and the Falcons are literally scoring 17.3. You got the Raiders. You got the Steelers are down there. I think the Bears are. Oh no, the Bears are ahead of the Falcons. I'm sorry, I can't even think of the other teams that's below them. Four teams for Van Jefferson. Now he's got to get implemented and get right into the offense and figure out what's going on. But we can't score for nothing, man. It's been the past 2 years. We can't score for no. We can't score no points, and I don't get it. It don't make no sense why we can't score no touchdowns.
There you go. There you go. That's the
We
word.
can't
I'm
score touchdowns.
touchdowns.
We can kick field
Touchdowns,
goals. I ain't worried about Young Way Cool. Young Way Cool kick a 50-yarder almost every week. We
bro.
can't score any touchdowns. You got all these dudes on offense. We drafted Kyle Pitts at 4. We drafted Drake London at 5. We just took Bijan Robinson at 7 or 8, whatever it is, and we can't score. We drafted these old linemen a couple years ago, and we can't put the ball in the back of the end zone for the past 3 years, bro. We ain't been able to score no touchdowns. Everybody run up and down the field on us. Everybody up until this year, up until this point. Everybody just run up and down the field, run up and down, do whatever they want to do on offense. Run it, throw it, behind the backpack, all type, whatever they want to do. Just do whatever they want to do, bruh. You got all these dudes, Kyle Pitts 6'5", Drake London 6'4", Bijan Robinson out here juking people out of their shoes, Cordell Patterson 6'2", Tyler Algier, he a low, Jonnu Smith 6, like we can't score nothing. We can't catch no fade balls. We can't take no deep shots. We can't hit. There's a rid of missing deep ball. Like it's just like, bro, what like it, bro. It's infuriating, bro. It's infuriating because now you actually have a defense that is playing well. They're not. People aren't just scoring on this defense. They're not like people aren't just scoring. Sunday, that I don't know what that was. AJ, you gotta get your stuff together, bro. Like the first touchdown, you looking for a flag and stuff. How about play through all that, bro? Like play through that. Can you continue to play through the whistle? Can you continue to play, bro? Giving up 3 touchdowns, like you said, you had to stop Derrick Henry and DeAndre Hopkins. The boy had 3 touchdowns. We heard enough from D Hop all year. And then they play the Falcons, and it's like it's the second coming. Every time you get ready to play a game that they should win, there's no reason why they should have lost that game on Sunday. There's no reason. No reason why they should have lost that game on Sunday unless you give up 3 touchdowns to DeAndre Hopkins and you score 6 points or 3 points or whatever it was in the first half. That's how you lose the game. Bro, bro, the offense is I don't get it. I don't get why we can't score a touchdown. And Arthur Smith got to figure it out. He got to figure it out, or he got to go, or we need to get a quarterback. Either he got to go, or we got to get a quarterback. And I don't want to say a real quarterback, because I don't want to be disrespectful. Once again, is Desmond Ridder first full season being a starter? But golly, man, help a brother out. We ain't had a defense play like this ever, ever. And we can't score 20? We can't even imagine we can't score 20 points. 20 points. That's 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals. We can't do that. Come on, man. You go ahead, bro. I don't know what they're gonna do on Sunday because they playing another rookie quarterback, and the way we just made Will Levis look, he might homeboy. I don't even know his name. He might go out there and throw 3 tutties to Jordan Addison and I don't even think Jefferson gonna play, but Addison and what's the other Osborne and all them boys. He might go out there and go crazy too.
Nah, for real. Nah, for real. See, I'm okay. So I'm gonna tell you what the problem with that was. Right. Granted, that first D Hop touchdown, it was a pass interference. It was, but it is what it
I feel
is.
it. Yeah.
Shake it off. It is what it is. Shake it off. The problem was Ryan Nielsen tried to run the same defense he ran week 1 against Carolina. And to a certain extent, I get it. It's like, all right, we're going to play man, have your receivers beat us because it's Will Levis. However, this is DeAndre Hopkins we talking about,
Bro,
bro.
come
This
on,
is not,
man.
no disrespect, this is not Adam Thielen. This is not Terrence Marshall. You feel me? It was the first game of the year. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, no, they should have got off of that man like that and kind of had more. Bro, I'm talking about the second touchdown he scored. I'm looking. It's like it's a linebacker. It's Ellis lined up on Hopkins. I'm like, what are we doing?
Who wouldn't
Like,
take that matchup?
what are we doing, right? So I'm like, y'all made Will Levis look like rookie of the year. All because
Mm-hmm.
honestly, just because of playing too much man, really not stopping the run like they really could have, because Derrick Henry still went off for 100 yards, if I'm not mistaken, or close to it.
Mm-hmm.
Missed opportunity. There was one point where Ellis had a chance to get an interception and it slipped right through his hands. And if he makes an interception, we got a short field, which is something we didn't have pretty much that whole game. We didn't have everything had to be worked for. That's that defensively. That I don't understand what was going on with that. And granted, I can't really be too mad at them because I can't expect for them to be playing how they played the whole somebody was gonna catch them eventually.
They didn't score 30 points. All they did was score 28, bro.
Somebody was gonna catch them eventually, right? The problem is the offense. We can move for some reason, we can move the ball up and down the field when we get a chance to. And it's like it feels like as soon as we cross the 35, we can't even get into the red zone. As soon as we get across the 35, we just look literally when we got ready for the first field goal. You want to know a play that they called and that they ran? We did a toss sweep to our tight end number 2 to throw a pass to our tight end number 3. Why is John Smith trying to throw the ball to McCole Pruitt when you got Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Mac Hollins, Cordell Patterson, Tyler Algier. What are we doing? What are we doing? The play calling is just stupid. It's atrocious. I get it. The turnover from Desmond and taking the sacks wasn't good, even though the offensive line played terrible. But have you another stat here? This whole season, I don't know if you noticed it or not. The Atlanta Falcons have not led in the first half. We've either tied or been trailing all 8 games.
That don't surprise me, bro.
You can't constantly. You're not gonna win many ball games, bro. If you constantly spotting teams points in the first half and you down in the first half, and then all of a sudden you think that you can go in there and make the comeback again and pull out a dub. It's just not going to happen. This team right now, I honestly, it's 4-4, but this one scares me more this year than it did last year because I honestly thought the schedule last year was tough, and I felt like hell if we got 6 wins, that was a plus.
Mm.
And the fact that at that point we were 4-4, and we had some big wins last year. We beat a good San Francisco team. We beat a Seattle team that ended up making the playoffs. Like we had a real good 4-4 for that I would
Yeah,
take for that, right? This 4-4 is awful. The 4 teams we beat: Carolina, Tampa Bay, um, who else was it? Carolina, Tampa Bay, Green Bay,
Green Bay,
and um, gosh, who am I forgetting?
Houston.
Houston. And we barely beat Houston and Green Bay. A last second field goal against Tampa Bay. The better teams we played against: Jacksonville took us to the woodshed. Detroit took us to the woodshed. How do we lose to Washington?
For some
How
reason,
do
we
we
can't
lose to
beat.
the?
We can't beat Washington.
We easily should be 6-2. I'm okay with the Detroit and Jacksonville loss because we were never in it. We were never in those games.
Mm.
It was just that. It is what it is. We shouldn't have lost to Washington. We shouldn't have beat Tennessee. We shouldn't have lost to Tennessee. With these, what we got? What 9 games left? It's not yet
Hmm.
because 17 now. It's the easiest schedule, and every game on there is winnable. Literally every game on there is winnable. There's not a game on there where I'm like, oh yeah, we could lose. Like I'm just like, yeah, chalk that up as a L.
Yeah.
And I watched part of the press conference, right? I want Arthur Smith to kind of get some guts, man. Be definitive with these answers. Stop giving these in between, trying to read between the lines. Guess he's because coming out and making the announcement that okay, Taylor Heineke is going to start here Sunday against Minnesota. Fine. So is that meaning like is he going to play out the rest of the season? Or is
Yeah.
this short term? Like, what is it? And he's just saying, well, a lot of variables factor into why we went with Taylor, and it ain't all just performance based. It's all on the health of Desmond Ritter. But he cleared concussion protocol.
So what is it? That's that's
So
that's
what?
that's my point.
Like, let us know. So like, do we need to know that? Okay, we are riding with are we riding with Heineke the rest of the season, and we
Hmm.
come back and see about Desmond next year or whatever, or is this gonna be all right 2 or 3 games and then 2 games and then when the bye week comes and then the rest of the way we coming back with Desmond? Like, what is it? Because I tell you this, if Heineke doesn't look good this Sunday or whatever the other however many games he may play,
Hmm.
at this point I can't point no blame at the QB. It's going to him because
That's
it's
all I
like
need to go to.
you not maxing out the potential that this team has, bro. Like
You got good young talent in it, and you're not actualizing it. If it don't work out, man, I'm tell you something right now. It
His
need to be.
to me
We
that
need to get a
seat
quarterback. This it need to be hot. It need to be
that
warming
seat
up.
hot.
But we need to be looking for a quarterback too, man. Drake
And
May
I'm
getting ready
and
to come out. Michael Penix getting ready to come out. Like you
dude,
got Bo
bro.
Nix. Like you
Bro, I
got
would say
quarterbacks.
I'll take a Jaden Daniels. I mean,
Like you got quarterbacks getting ready to come out
it's,
this draft, man. Like
so we need to know. Yeah, we need to know. Like,
figure something out.
is this going to be is because he's saying, oh, it's just for this week. No, no, we need to know. Like, bro, is well, so what you gonna do? Because if Taylor comes out and he has a hell of a game and we win, you
He's still not the
you
future.
can't
Yeah, like
go. He ain't the future, but then it's like you can't go back to Desmond.
you can't go back to Desmond
You can't go back to him because
until he
everybody's
start
gonna be
playing
like,
bad. But yeah, it's like
yeah. So I'm like, what can you do? I don't know. Uh, we, bruh, I'm talking about. I feel like we should be at least 6-2 and feeling good about ourselves going into this game, knowing that even though I'm looking at it still half full, just
hmm
because it's the easiest strength of schedule left that we have, that out of everybody. I think it's Minnesota. I believe we got Minnesota, Arizona. Then we got the bye week. We come back and we play. Uh, I believe it's a matter of fact. I got it
I
right
got
here.
you
I
right
don't even
here.
know where I'm at. I'm
I got
tripping,
you
right?
right here.
Correct me if I'm wrong,
It's
right?
Minnesota.
Minnesota,
Yep.
Arizona, the bye
hmm
week,
Yep.
New Orleans,
hmm
correct. The Jets,
Keep
Buccaneers
going.
again,
Yep.
Panthers again,
hmm
Colts, Bears, and finish with New Orleans, right?
Yep. In that order.
Do any of those teams scare
None of
you?
those teams scare me.
Me personally, only one team
I would say
may be
one, and I would say, and it would be the Jets because
the
they
Jets.
defense.
The Jets
Because they
because of the
defense.
defense, and honestly, Zach Wilson has improved. He really has. He's gotten
He's been
better.
playing better. He's been playing
And
a little
they're
better.
playing better. So that's the one where I'm like, okay,
hmm
cool, right? So at that point, I'm thinking just I'm thinking worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, you go these last 9 games, you go 6-3. You you might that's the worst you should do and finish at 10-7.
hmm
And none of those three losses better not be to that team down in Louisiana.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't have that.
You know,
Can't have it.
that's worst case
I
scenario.
yeah.
And
I don't I don't understand. I don't get what the issue is on offense. I get that the quarterback play hasn't been well. I get that the O line play hasn't been well. But you're an offensive guy, man. Figure it out. Figure it out. Because your defense is playing for you. You spend a lot of money on your defense, and it's starting to show up, and they playing ball. All right, like you said, Sanders, you ain't going to hold every team to 20 or less points. It's not going to happen. Some teams are going to score 28. So you got to be able to do that, and you scored 23. But like you said, if you spotting teams 10, 11, 13, 14 points, 21 points at half, whatever it might be, if you can't play, you can't give this defense a chance to play with a lead going into the half, it's going to be tough. When you're trying to come back from 10 points down every game, it's going to be tough because you're
constantly
playing from
settling for
behind the stick
three. And then
because you
constantly
got it.
settling for
That's
three when
it.
you driving down and when you get into the fringe red zone or in the red zone and you can't finish, bro.
And
That's
obviously
you're
they're not,
not you're not like you said, bro. You're not gonna win in the NFL if you can't finish drives with touchdowns.
and you're
You
not going to win when it seems like they are not comfortable with throwing the football.
yeah.
If you were comfortable with throwing the football, playing from behind isn't ideal, but it's not bad because if you know you got a passing game that can heat up, then you fine. But throwing the football right now is not our strong suit, and it doesn't look comfortable right now for the quarterbacks throwing the football. So when you are a more run heavy team, it behooves you to play with the lead, so you don't have to lean on that pass game. But You should be able to throw the ball because you got weapons all over the field. So, what do I know, bro? I'm just here. I'm just a loyal fan of 26 years. I don't know. But someone got to tell me something. Someone got to figure out something. Because I see all these pass catchers. I play receiver. I see all these dudes that can catch the football and make all these plays. And for some reason, we can't get on the ball down the field. So, something got to give. Quarterback,
It
head coach,
does.
something got to give.
It does, man. It does. Um, and I hate that we couldn't get Montez Sweat added on to the squad, man, because it looked
Yeah.
like he really wanted to be here. But I get it. Let's just sit on the draft capital. It is what it is. Focus on the rest of the season and just get it going. Because we have no Grady Jarrett out for the year with torn ACL. So
Yeah, get better, man.
you
We're
know
gonna miss Grady with that.
it is what it is, man. So we'll move on here and finish up with the NFL talk, man. We're going to our pick'ems. We ain't gonna spend too much time on them. We're just pick our winners, man. We got Dolphins Chiefs out in Germany. Who you got?
I think the Dolphins need this game more, so I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. I think they need to win this game because they haven't beaten a good team yet this year. They're gonna need this one. They know it's important, so I'm gonna go with Miami.
Third time's the charm. I think Miami gets it done. They struggled on the road against Buffalo, struggled on the road
Hmm.
against the Philly. Neutral game, but they're deemed the road team. But this is a big opponent, man. So they
Hmm.
hadn't, like you said, hadn't beat a big opponent yet. I think third time's a charm. It's going to be the Dolphins. I don't. Some of the Chiefs look different. They just look
Yeah,
different, bro. They
yeah.
just look different. I know, like last year, everybody was wondering about, hey, how could the Chiefs do it without Tyreek Hill, and they found a way. But
Yeah.
this year, maybe it could be because a certain coordinator isn't there anymore.
Could be that. Could be they don't have no receivers neither. So
Mm.
one of the two. But
They said they didn't have none last year too, though.
okay,
When
all
he
right,
got
all
them a
right.
ring, but
We can go to the next game. I ain't gonna.
for
I
sure.
hear you. I hear what you're
I
putting
hear you.
down.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, man, big game in NFC East. Cowboys Eagles
Mhm.
round one. Who you got in that?
Another game where I think the Eagles need this. I mean, not the Eagles. Excuse me. I think the Cowboys need this game, especially after the way they got smoked by San Francisco. I think they definitely need this game just to prove to themselves that they can play with the elite teams in the conference. I mean, I know San Francisco has been down, but it's Philly, San Francisco, and Dallas is really in that conversation as the next best team. Like those are the top three teams in the NFC. You got to be able to we got whooped by San Francisco. You need to be able to play with your divisional rival. I think they'll play well. It's going to be a crazy atmosphere in Philly. It's at home for Philly, so I'm going to take Philly at home. I think it's going to be close. I think Dallas does play well, though. But I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Yeah, last year home team split. Uh, those games last year, I think it'll be kind of similar to that again. Just because it's in Philly, I'm gonna go with the Eagles. I think it'll be close. It'll be a good game. It'll be an exciting game. But just because that game is in Philly, I'm gonna go with the Eagles as well.
Mm-hmm.
Man, so that's what we had on tap there for the NFL. We'll shift gears now, going into college football. Like you said, now in the month of November. So now it's official. The rankings
Mm-hmm.
that comes out now are all the college football playoff rankings. The first one just got revealed this past Tuesday, and kind of like last year, we don't. I know I don't. I'm pretty sure you don't either. We don't get too hyped up into how the rankings are that first
Yeah.
week, just because it's still a lot to play for, and some teams are gonna cancel each other out. It is what it is. But
Mm-hmm.
you look into the playoff rankings here. Obviously, the committee decided to go Ohio State at number one, Georgia at two, Michigan at three, Florida State at four. Then you got Washington, Oregon, Texas, Alabama, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Penn State, Missouri, Louisville, LSU, Notre Dame. I'll stop there in that top 15
Mm-hmm.
and everything like that. So to me, I don't know about you. I don't have a problem with how they got everything ranked. Michigan might have been the most dominant, but right now it's looking like it's an asterisk
For
on that.
sure.
It's an asterisk on that right now. Um,
Yeah.
I think just because out of all the undefeated teams, I want to say Ohio State has probably the best ranked win
Hmm.
out of all the undefeated teams, which was a home win over Penn State. I
Hmm.
think if Texas was still undefeated, they would have had a chance because of them beating Alabama on the road, but losing to Oklahoma in the Red River Shootout kind of dinged them a little bit. And obviously, you can't put them over the rest of those teams because I mean they're all undefeated, right?
Hmm.
So there's that. But um, I don't know. I have no problem with it. Like I said, it'll all cancel out. Ohio State will play Michigan. Washington may end up playing Oregon again. Texas and OU will probably end up playing each other again. Who knows what happens with? I mean, it's a big game on tap between Alabama and LSU this week, so they finna play each other anyway, man. So what's your take on the rankings?
I don't have any issue. It's the first week. I think they got it right. I think they got the top four teams right. I think Washington is right there at 5. I think that's fine. I do think I think you could have interchanged Florida State and Washington after Washington getting the big dub against Oregon. I know that Florida State has some great wins, but I don't know if Florida State has a better win than Washington over Oregon. I mean, you could say the opening week against LSU, but LSU's kind of been up and down a little bit. But all things considered, I think they put Ohio State number one because Ohio State, not only the Penn State win, but also Notre Dame too. It went to Notre
Oh
Dame to
yeah,
beat Notre
yeah,
Dame.
yeah. That's right.
So
The
you
Notre
got
Dame
both of
winner.
those. So you put that over Georgia. Georgia's been a little rocky, but Georgia's undefeated. They've been winning. So they're at 2. Michigan, yeah, they're shaky because of the sign stealing, but I wasn't even agreeing with you about the sign stealing. I was talking about who they played. They ain't played nobody. So yeah, you undefeated and you've been dominant. You've been smoking everybody, but it's
They
easy when
supposed
you
to do
smoking
that.
FCS Southeast and FCS Northwest and the children of the poor and all that. That's what you're supposed to do. So when we get into Penn State and Ohio State, then okay, we'll better see what Michigan has. And then Washington, like you said, it's all gonna work itself out. It's week one, so there's no reason to get all up in arms about where the rank, who's ranked where, and all that stuff. It's all good. So I'm fine with it. Um, like I said, the SEC will figure itself out. The Big Ten will definitely figure itself out with Ohio State and Michigan again. Um, as long as they stay undefeated up until that point, Washington and Oregon, like you said, they'll probably end up playing for the Pac-12 championship. So I'm fine with it.
Right. I I didn't realize this. I mean, yeah, it's been nobody. The most points somebody has scored on Michigan so far is just 10. That's
Who was that?
crazy, and that's Minnesota. That's
Children of the Poor.
crazy. That's crazy. Wow. Okay, but yeah, I can see that now. I can see where you talked about that Florida State, Washington could have been interchangeable, but um, that could. I mean, yeah, that could have go
It's
either way.
nitpicky. Like I said, yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's
yeah,
nit. It's the first
it's
one,
nothing.
man. Like
I mean,
as long as the undefeated teams
are
were
all there
are
before. Yeah,
all
as long as
there,
yeah, they not
you're
disrespecting
fine.
nobody.
If
I
you put a
mean,
yeah, you put a one loss team in front of somebody, now we got an issue. But as long as the
yeah,
undefeated teams are up there near the top, I think you're fine.
yeah.
No one's going to
Side
the
side.
playoff tomorrow.
Yeah, and then side note, just for for the group of 5 enthusiasts, Tulane
Mm,
so far is the highest ranked group of 5 team at 7-1, but Air Force is right behind them and they're undefeated.
they're
So
undefeated. Yep.
that's something to play right there as you go along and the,
Mm-hmm.
the season winds down and everything like that. But um, yeah, man, that's that. I don't really have no issue with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have an issue with any of that, man. But a lot of football still left to be played, especially
Mm-hmm.
within this month of November. And that's the beauty of it, right? It's all gonna get decided on the football field. We ain't got to worry about no. Once the game is done, you can go back to the game and say, well, this is a game that can get you in or rule you out.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yep.
is what it is. There's no gonna be no subjectivity and everything like that. It's gonna be all proven shown on the football field. So
That's it. That's all we can
I,
ask for.
I have no issues with the rankings. Maybe after this week we can kind of start
Yeah.
diving. Maybe even not even after this week. Maybe it might have to be even the next week. Maybe going into that week of Thanksgiving or something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So or the week before that, but it is what it is. Um, a lot of good games on tap though this week for sure.
Yeah.
A lot better than than last week for sure. It was a lot better, even though there was some close calls of a few here
Mhm.
and there. But a lot of great games. I mean, you got Missouri and Georgia.
Mhm.
Uh, man, you got Bedlam. We got Oklahoma State going on, man. Um,
Already?
yeah, they playing. They doing Bedlam this week. They not waiting until they not waiting
Sheesh. I
until
didn't even
the end of the
realize that.
year. That's wild. Bedlam is gonna be this week, man.
I don't know how I feel about
Yeah,
that.
I know it's weird. It's weird seeing some.
Yeah, I feel it.
It was weird seeing some of those rivalry games that you see later on in the year early, bro. Like
Yeah, I
seeing
don't like
Arkansas
that.
LSU, seeing Arkansas and
Yeah,
LSU play for the boot in
yeah,
September
that
was
was
like
different.
weird.
Yeah.
It'd been different
Yeah.
if they would have played it like October. I might have been okay with it, but them playing for the boot in September just
Yeah.
threw me
That doesn't
completely off. I was
yeah,
like,
that's not how that's supposed to
that don't
go.
look right. That don't look right. That y'all supposed to say that for like a little bit later, man. Like,
Mhm.
but it is what it is, man. But a lot of big games everywhere, man. In the Big 12, we got 7 ranked Texas at home against
Mhm.
quiet as kept. Nobody still talks about them. The defending Big 12 champion, Kansas State Wildcats.
Yep.
Texas only a 4 point favorite. I'm not sure what the status is with Quinn Ewers. I don't know if
Yeah.
he's playing or if it'll be Malik Murphy again. Um, I'm not quite sure. He had a pretty decent game against BYU, but um, regardless, man, who you got in this one?
Uh this is kind of a toss up. This kind of toss up for me. Um I wanna I wanna go with Texas. I wanna go with Texas. Obviously the quarterback thing is definitely concerning. Um
So confirm on that. Malik Murphy is starting. No Quinn Ewers
okay,
again.
yeah, well, no, I was just looking at it too. Yep, no Quinn Ewers. So yeah, he played well. If this was in Manhattan, I would feel a little bit better picking Kansas State. With it being at home in Royal Stadium, I think I'm gonna go with Texas at home. It's definitely gonna be close. Like I said, Texas is a 4 point favorite. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be a close football game. Kansas State is good. They're a good football team. But I'm gonna pick Texas. I'm gonna pick Texas to win.
Yeah, I think after they had their loss down there in Dallas at the Red River shootout to Oklahoma, I think Texas has a different focus on them now. I think they know they pretty much kind of let one slip away.
Mm,
In that one. And I think they don't want to make sure that doesn't happen again, and hopefully they get a chance to possibly maybe run into Oklahoma again for the Big 12 championship. And on top of that, they still have a chance right there, especially where they're ranked, to get into the college football playoffs. So
yep.
obviously they are, they're watching that to see what happens on who's playing who, and and what happens with that. But obviously they got to control what they can control, which is right now Kansas State in front of them.
Hmm.
It's gonna be close. I think Kansas State will play them tough. Um, but I think in the end, I think Texas pulls away slightly,
Hmm.
and ends up getting a dub in that one. Um, Next game we got here on tap, we're going out west to the Pac-12, and man, you would have thought a couple months ago that this would be in a collision course. We're looking to see if this would have been a big one to figure out who could be that front runner within the Pac-12, but now it's kind of it's a do or die. The game is not doesn't have as much oomph on it as it is a little lackluster, but still interesting to say the least.
Hmm.
Um, probably the well, probably the first real road test maybe for Washington. Going out going down to Los Angeles and playing USC. Um, yeah, yeah. So first real road test for Washington. I mean, Arizona gave them a scare a few weeks ago, but
Hmm.
pretty much, it's been there, and they took care of business last week against Stanford on the road there. So now back on the road, going up against USC, who obviously is kind of pretty much out of it when it comes to maybe the college football playoff, but
Hmm.
they're right there still in the thick of things when it comes to the Pac-12 championship, only having one conference loss. So obviously they want to try to knock down Washington to put them down with one loss to everybody because they're the only undefeated team still left in the Pac-12. So it's a lot at stake still for this one. Who you got in this game?
I'm going to pick Washington, but I think this definitely bodes well for USC. I'm not too familiar with Washington's defense, but just in general, I think when you have a game where this is looking to be more of a shootout, I think that bodes well for USC. I think shootouts bode well for USC. If it's a knockout, drag out fight, just physical brawl, I don't think that bodes well for USC and Lincoln Riley. But with it being these two quarterbacks that can throw it all over the field, these receivers and everything, this is going to be a shootout. I could see it being along the lines of that Washington Oregon game. I'm gonna pick Washington to win. I'm going there on the road to win. I think Michael Penix and those receivers make a couple more plays. USC has been playing well as of late. They've been down, like you said, they're still in the thick of it for the Pac-12 championship, but they weren't playing for a Pac-12 championship. You got Caleb Williams coming back. They're playing for a natty. They're playing again in the playoff. So are they still motivated? Are they still motivated to go out and win a conference championship? Not saying that they aren't, but there comes a question where when you have bigger aspirations of wanting to compete and play for a national championship, we got the Heisman Trophy winner coming back. These receivers and everybody coming back, we should be all right. And you lose a couple games. Do you still have that same motivation to go out there and do what you need to do? And you got a great opponent coming in, fifth ranked team in the country, should be good home field advantage. But I'm gonna go with Washington.
Yeah, I think Washington will pull it out too. The environment for it may be crazy, but I think at the same time, just because USC's already out of it when it comes to the national championship picture, which is once again is probably what they were more looking forward to than the Pac-12 championship. Even though you got to get that first before
Yeah,
you
no
can
doubt.
get to before you can get
Hmm.
to a national championship. But um, I don't know, man. I think Michael Penix is playing on a different level this year. Um, that he's not getting talked about in that conversation as much as I think he should.
Hmm.
For some reason, but it'll be tough. The environment will be tough, but I think Washington in the end will probably pull it out for sure. Then the last game we got here on tap, it seems like every year when these two teams play each other, this is determining who comes represents the West division of
Hmm.
the SEC conference, uh, and that's eighth ranked Alabama playing 14th ranked LSU. This
Hmm.
is going to be down in Tuscaloosa. We remember how exciting that game was last year. Jaden Daniels played a hell of a game against
Hmm.
Alabama, and he hit Mason Taylor on that game winning 2 point play that had Death Valley going crazy. Which is I think that was I think that was like maybe LSU's first time in what about since the Joe Burrow team that they won
Hmm.
against Alabama. So the past 2 years they were kind of struggling.
Yep.
And now they get a chance to go down to Tuscaloosa see if they can get them down there this year, which they haven't won down there as much. Like I said, that 2019 Joe Burrow squad did, but before that, it
It's
had been
been.
a while
Hmm.
since they had won down there in Tuscaloosa. So, um, a lot on the line here because if LSU wins it, then we're possibly talking about here at the three-way tie, with first place between them, Alabama, and Ole Miss. So
Hmm.
this doesn't necessarily clinch anything, but if Bama wins it, it kind of almost does. Who you got in this one?
This is a tough one. it's tough to take the road team in this matchup. It's tough to take the road team because of the the real home field advantage. Like talk about like USC having like home field. Yeah, they have home field advantage. This is real deal home field advantage. Alabama, LSU in Tuscaloosa, Bryant-Dennis Station at Stadium, excuse me, at night. Like this is going, it's going to be rocking down there in Tuscaloosa. I'm going to pick LSU. I literally just switched it. I was picking Alabama. I'm going to pick LSU. I'm going to pick LSU because I don't know if the quarterback Jalen Milroe can keep up with Jaden Daniels. That's literally I think what it comes down to. I think Jaden Daniels makes more plays than Jalen Milroe. I think the offense makes a couple more plays, and I think LSU finds a way to go into Tuscaloosa and squeak out a win. Physical is always physical. It's always hard fought. I mean, there are always hits in this game. There are always hits in this game where it's like, oh my gosh, like this is like that hurt. I know that hurt. Like that did not sound look good at all. Like it's going to be a physical game. Like that training room for both teams is going to be busy on Sunday morning. Uh, but I just think that Jaden Daniels makes a couple more plays than Jalen Milroe. I think really that's what this game comes down to: which quarterback is going to play better. Um, I'm gonna go with LSU. I think LSU makes a couple more plays. Malik Neighbors. I think he makes some plays. All right, to help his team get the W. Hard to
I've been
pick them
going,
on the road.
yeah,
Hard to pick them on the road.
I've been going back and forth on this one for sure. Um, I do, I, I like LSU's chances, but in all honesty, I don't know if they can do it. I think, I think Nick Saban finds a way to contain. I don't think he shuts down Jaden Daniels because it was hard for them to do it last year. I don't see how they can really shut him down this year. I think they'll contain him though, and do
Okay.
just enough, um, and do just enough to shut him down. And I think Jalen Murrow is improving, man, game by game.
No
I
doubt.
know he had
No
a,
doubt. No doubt.
I know he had a bad game against Texas, and everybody ridiculed him and everything like that, and was ready to write them off the ship. But I think he will continue to keep improving, and I think it'd be kind of similar to what happened when they played Tennessee. You know,
Okay.
who I mean, now I would say this: I don't think you would want to get down LSU like that, down 20-7, you know, like that or anything like that. But I think it'd be close, back and forward. Um, Kind of those 2010 matchups to where a play here or there determines it, and that'll be the difference. Um, and I think in the end it'll come down to the quarterback play, but I think also in the end it'll come down to um, coaching and how coaching will happen in this game. To be honest, bro, and I'm not even trying to be funny. I can't think of how many times Brian Kelly has won a big road game, like a true road game.
Yeah. It has been a lot. It
You
has been a
know,
lot.
you
No.
know. So can he do it? I don't know. Would I like for them to do it? Yeah, but I think in the end it's down there night game in Tuscaloosa. That crowd's gonna be rocking. Everybody remember what happened last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think Alabama gets their revenge, and I'm gonna go with Alabama to go ahead and dishes themselves in the SEC West,
Okay.
and get the dub. I hate that I said that, but you know,
It is what it is, man. You
it
got to
is
make
what
your
it
pick.
is. Yeah, it is
Yeah.
what it is. But man, it should be fun, man. A lot of, like I said, a lot of good games on tap. Um, for sure. It's just I can't wait. As you get ready to wrap it up here, man, you got anything you want to say, any words to the people?
No, no. Continue to do whatever it is to You need to take care of yourself. Continue to stay healthy. Continue to um, finish this year strong. Finish this year strong. It's 2 months left. Finish this year strong. Um, and I think this is a good time, and I'll be doing a little bit of this. I think it's a good time to reflect. I think it's a good time to kind of do some thinking, do whatever it is. Really, just a time of reflection. Especially, I mean, we got two months left, getting ready to go into a new year. Like I think this is a perfect time to really kind of slow down, per se, to slow down, do some real reflection, kind of look in the mirror a little bit, see what it is you do well, things you don't do well, and make some adjustments, especially going into this new year. So I think that's the big thing, just some self reflection. I think it'd be good. I know I'll be doing it. Um, but continue to support us, continue to support the podcast. We appreciate it. Uh, be ready for another episode. Hopefully, we'll be happier next week.
Hopefully, man, you ain't lying. But nah, same for me, man. Continue to support the podcast. Checking your people. You know, find that balance. Checking on your loved ones, man. Man, take y'all vitamins.
Hmm.
Hey, it's getting cold out here. It was a cold week this week here, bro. I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't know
it's
about
been
out here
cool
in
up.
Carolina.
Yes, yeah, it's been cool in Carolina. This morning we had practice this morning, 6 a.m. and yeah, I mean,
It was below
thankfully,
freezing here. It was below
oh, not
freezing
for
here
sure.
this
It
morning.
was 20,
Yeah,
it was 27, and
yeah,
so like I've been conditioned, so it's cold, but
yeah. You good? Yeah, you
I'm
good?
cool.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
boys out there, they hurting.
That's a
They was
different shit. Yeah,
hurting.
but yeah, you
Yeah,
like you telling them, like, yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, I ain't,
you
hey,
be all right. Yeah, you
three
ain't
three
even.
feet of snow, man. This. What you mean? What you
Hey,
mean? This
Tom,
this is
hold it
nothing.
down, hold it down. But no, it is been this week
Yeah,
has been
yeah.
cold out here too.
Yeah, for sure, man. But yeah, do all that, man. Take care of y'all bodies, you know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
everything like that. Um, love black women, cherish black women, protect black women. No means no,
No means no.
you know what I'm saying? Uh need I say more on that one, you know. Just
We good.
I's is dotted, T's is crossed, man. That's all
Hmm.
that matters. Be on your P's and Q's. Continue to support the podcast, man. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on the social medias, man. Um, like we said earlier in the show, man, we gonna put it out there. We gonna ask y'all, man, give us a list of y'all favorite Christmas songs, man, so we can
Yeah,
kind of see what y'all taste is. You know, I think I know a few of them that probably be on there. For sure, the Temptations one's gonna be on
that's gonna be
there.
on there. Yeah.
Um, I probably say Chris Brown this Christmas will probably be on there. That's a
Yep.
good one.
That Mariah Carey
But
gonna be on there
yeah,
and
that's
stuff.
gonna
So,
be on
but
there.
there'll
You
be some that
know,
surprises. There'll be some that
yeah, that
surprises
might
for
be
sure.
some of the surprises, man, for sure. But yeah, get ready to engage with us, man, and everything like that. And just man, sit back and get ready for another episode, man. Till then, it's been another episode of the Easy Money Sports Podcast.
Peace.